Ethereum's early dream was to become a world computer. However, due to the severe limitations of its scalability and the restrictions of programmability, this dream quickly fell apart, and it still feels like it's a faraway future. The reality is that blockchains and even existing Layer 2 solutions still leave developers with limited options, leaving them to create only simplistic dApps. But by utilizing one of our favorite projects, developers will soon be able to create complex dApps, and gaming will never be the same. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the Bit Squad, the largest crypto community in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. In this sponsored video, we're going to be covering some of the most recent updates happening with Cartezi and why it could be one of the greatest projects in this space in the future due to what they are seeking to accomplish. Several Layer 2 solutions are working to solve the scalability problem. Unfortunately, that is not enough to unlock the vast potential of blockchain applications. Cartezi isn't only about scaling, it's about expanding the universe possibilities to the world by bridging the gap between mainstream software and smart contracts, utilizing existing programming tools from Linux. This would unlock tremendous smart contract capabilities offered by their highly interoperable Descartes virtual machine. Cartezi isn't just a blockchain. It's a blockchain with its own operating system, Descartes. Significance of this can't be stressed enough. The difference between a blockchain with and without an operating system is night and day. I've detailed before how Linux powers a majority of the software in the world that is used today. Here's a quick rundown about Linux again so you better understand why Cartezi is such a massively undervalued project. In 2021, 100% of the world's top 500 supercomputers run on Linux. 96.3% of the world's top 1 million servers run on Linux. 90% of all cloud infrastructure operates on Linux. Practically all the best cloud hosts use it. 2018, Android dominated the mobile operating system market with 75.16%. 85% of all smartphones are based on Linux. Cartezi expands the limits of current technological possibilities. Cartezi will be working to show how things that were not formerly possible to be conceived on smart contracts will be possible with Cartezi's tech. In other words, Cartezi will be showcasing those impossible dApps that up until now have been unattainable due to blockchain's limitations using Ethereum virtual machines or EVMs. Cartezi is committed to bringing tangible real examples, creating previously impossible dApps for developers and users alike. To show the transformative potential of Cartezi and its unique capacity to support the full unlocking of blockchain's potential in everyday life. Cartezi's first impossible dApp was Creepts, which captivated 30,000 enthusiastic players. In fact, Creepts was so impressive, Cartezi was incubated into Binance Launchpad in 2020. With Creepts, Cartezi showed how a tower defense game that would be too complex and heavy to run on Ethereum could in fact run fully decentralized with its technology. Creepts first displayed and tested Cartezi's ability to handle real-time action in a decentralized fashion. For those that don't play tower defense games, who doesn't? There's a lot happening on the screen which would have to be processed through a blockchain. You have your towers defending your base, all the enemies, projectiles from the towers shooting at the minions, trying to destroy your castle, and that's just a brief overview. Therefore, this achievement can't be understated. This was followed by Cartezi's dApp incubation program, allowing projects who applied and were approved to use Cartezi's technology for Internet of Things devices and an NFT marketplace. With Cartezi's recent display developing a Texas Hold'em poker game, Cartezi shows how its technology can be utilized along with mainstream software to overcome the lack of privacy of transactions on the blockchain, allowing players to conceal their cards and have an incorruptible, tamper-proof, fully decentralized competitive professional poker experience. Where that might not seem like a big deal to you, if you like playing poker, you know that one thing most players dread is playing online. This is due to the inability to trust online sites as a result of past cheating scandals which plagued the industry and followed around like a dark raining cloud. That's because though, with Cartezi, the biggest looming issue of trust goes away. Everything is left up to randomization of numbers in the blockchain. It's completely immutable and no one can cheat in the game. If you're interested in more on that, you can click up here to watch my interview with Cartezi CEO, Eric Demora. Several technical problems have made the creation of such a poker dApp impossible to be done on smart contracts on chain. The impossibility to conceal players' hands on chain, the impossibility of shuffling the cards on the blockchain, computation that is too intensive to be run on chain. But there's more. Even though other rollup solutions can overcome the scalability and privacy issues, with Cartesi, the poker program was developed with a very complex mainstream software component that runs on Linux. For context, rewriting such logic and Solidity would be dreadful, a huge task for developers. On the path towards mainnet, the team behind Cartesi promise they will show the power of this disruptive technology with different examples of impossible dApps that can be made possible with Cartesi's unique tech. One of Cartesi's latest projects was a chess game. Chess is another example of a game which requires intensive computations to the point where porting that to a blockchain with limited scalability has been near impossible. In addition to these use cases, Cartesi's team plans to display fully decentralized turn-based board RPGs as well as other card games. A lot of Cartesi's efforts have thus far been focused on gaming. However, technology will be utilized in other ways as well. As Cartesi grows, we are bound to see once unachievable dApps created and whole industries disrupted with this transformative technology. Cartesi also has ambitions to show sustainability, smart cities, and other different applications with the Internet of Things. The team wants to not only inspire the development community to code previously impossible dApps, but also to support them with grants, accelerators, and mentorship through their ecosystem development program, Cartesi Labs. In other news, the Cartesi team has been expanding quite vigorously, hiring folks from all over the world into the Cartesi Foundation. And if you needed more bullish news for Cartesi, they've recently released key puzzle pieces on testnet, including their rollups and Nether staking, which are just two components, now fully working as the developers work to bring their technology to mainnet. Cartesi is shaping up to become a behemoth for the future, and exchanges are already beginning to see that. Just recently, several large exchanges have listed the CTSI token, including Kraken. Given that bullish news and the steady stream of updates, once the mainnet is here, I'm confident that these cheap tokens will be a thing of the past. Of course, thank you so much to Cartesi for being a partner of the channel, as we are an advisor for them, and I hope you learned about the future potential of this technology. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.